All right, everybody. We are back with another Dynasty Draft preview for Bare Naked Ladies and Joshua. And Joshua, he definitely has those four first round picks, which I think is amazing for him. And give me 1 second, get to the poll question. How long do you think the Bare Naked Ladies rebuild is going to take? Honestly, I think if he drafts well with those four first round picks, not long at all. I think if he can get decent players at three, I have an opinion who he should take at three. But since I draft at four, I'm not going to try to sway him. But at 7, 12, and 16 as well, he definitely has picks back there. I think he's definitely going to be able to get a good wide receiver, even like maybe third or fourth best rookie running back later in the first round as well. I think his team's going to be pretty damn well this year, and I definitely voted 1 year.
Yeah, I went 2 to 3 years because I think he's still 2 to 3 years away. And you know why I think he's 2 to 3 years away is, during the video there, we had a quick snapshot of his lineup there. And I think obviously last year he went Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, and hopefully these guys are the future for him. I think at running back he has potential with Eli Mitchell, Rashad Penny with potentially being an RB1. He's got Akers there. And when I look at his wide receivers, I mean, they all kind of got good news this year. I mean, Juju is right currently, I guess, the WR1 in Kansas City. Then you add Valdez Scantling and Hartman. He's got all the wide receivers that Mahomes is going to throw to. Sutton just added Russell Wilson as his quarterback. Christian Kirk, of course, has become a somewhat WR1 or 2 in Jacksonville. Where the weaknesses are for Bare Naked Ladies, tight end, Harrison Bryant, Kenny Yeboah. These guys aren't scaring anyone. The other weakness on his team, looking at his defense, it's defensive back. Really, he's got Kyle Duggar that did anything last year. His strength on defense is definitely at DL. He's got one of the best DL groups in the league with the Bosa brothers, Brian Burns. But yeah, for Josh, what's the focus going to have to be? I think the focus is going to have to be, looking at his team, maybe strengthening running back, maybe wide receiver, but tight end. But there's just no good tight end prospects out there right now.
Yeah, that's definitely not the draft for tight ends. I don't think there's anybody. There's definitely no Kyle Pitts. I don't think there's anybody tier 3 or tier 4 tight ends even in the rookie class coming in. But you're right. His team's gonna, if Lawrence and Wilson can do great this year, his team's definitely gonna have a great year. I mean, looking at his, his running back room, Akers, Mitchell, Penny, definitely. I like that 1, 2, 3. I think he's gonna be able to pick up, somebody later on, Cooks or somebody like that in later half of the first round. Tight ends, you're right. We'll just keep going. And then look, you said his wide receivers. To me, Christian Kirk, I think he's going to be more of a bust than anything in Jacksonville, especially with Marvin Jones and Chenault over there, and Evan Ingram also going to Jacksonville as well. Then you got Kenny Galladay. Okay, he still has Danny Dimes throwing the ball to him. Sutton, that's definitely a boost for him there. Hardman, I'm not sold on. Juju, if he stays wide receiver 1, yes. But when Casey goes in the first round, drafts Burks or somebody like that, Juju again, he becomes okay. And the rest of them are okay, I guess, as well. I mean, if I were him, I know exactly who I would be reaching out at 3. I think the first 2 picks are going to be running backs. And that leads me with the best player that I think in the draft in general at 3. And then you come back at 7, 12, and 16, and you kind of mop up the rest of your picks there as well. But then let's not forget he also has 2 second rounders at 19 and 32. And then he has 2 picks the third round in the 6th round for kicker and defense. But so he has 5 picks in the first 36 6 picks in 32 round or picks. So he definitely has the draft capital this year. I mean, if I were him, I would actually probably explore making a trade. Maybe trade my second rounder or a third rounder to pick up another tight end, see what's out there, because I mean, who cares if you're picking a kicker in a defense, in the 6th or the 7th round at that point, because that's when the most of them are going to go anyway. So yeah, I mean, he has the draft capital to explore other traits, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a trade or two before we actually draft anyway.
Yeah, can you actually show the next slide there, Cole, with his picks?
Oh, my bad.
No worries.
Definitely.
Yeah, so you can see it, right? Like, I mean, that's probably why you're saying, obviously, the rebuild 1 year. And by the way, you'll be happy to know that he is the other guy that has the worst career record in LOC Dynasty history, with only 10 wins in 3 seasons. I mean, that's pathetic, Josh. You're better than that. And you better find a way to nail these 4 picks. And, looking at it here again, you got some decent wide receivers there. I think you could probably still nab 1, maybe 2 here. When I talked about DB's a need. Do you get a guy like Kyle Hamilton here late in the first round before anyone else picks defense? Might be a good strategy there to add to the DB room. And then, the other side of the coin is obviously with tight end. I'd be trying to trade some of those picks for a decent tight end. I know I've reached out to you. But we'll just have to see how the chips fall. And I think at pick 3, you just got to, again, see where these guys fall. I mean, Breece Hall could end up in the worst scenario possible. We don't know, right? And, if that's the case, then all of a sudden a guy like Isaiah Spiller or someone else off the radar becomes, more attractive if he gets drafted by Buffalo, right? So we just got to wait and see what happens till after the draft. And I think that's going to formulate a lot of people's strategies, and hopefully will generate a little bit of trading activity as well across all formats in the LOC.
I agree 100%.